Hello Year 9. So this is just a quick video to help you plan for your spring assessment. Now in your homework booklets, you've been given a few pages that are designed to actually help you for that assessment. Now remember, you will not be allowed this planning during your assessment. So it's a really good opportunity for you to, if you've decided to use certain words or certain images, to try and memorize them. So that helps you actually think about how to revise and how to prepare independently for assessments. So when we turn over in your homework booklets, you'll see that you've got a bit of a knowledge organizer really for key ideas found in fantasy fiction. Now your Spring 1 assessment is mainly going to focus on aspects of fantasy because that's mainly what you've been reading this term. So you'll have some questions that is multi-choice and you have to answer in terms of these terms. Now, one of the things that you can do to help you revise for this is you might want to do look, cover, write, check. Okay, so look, read it, then cover it, and then see if you can remember what the different features of fantasy are. Or one of the things that you might want to do is actually start getting used to doing things like flashcards. So you might actually create a flashcard for each of the different features of fantasy that you got on here. So I might do something like imagine worlds, and I'm going to write imagined worlds, and then I'm going to write what the definition is on the side. So that settings are often and I write the rest of that. I might add a picture as well, so sometimes it helps me if I add a picture. Imagine worlds, I'm drawing the picture from there. They usually have this, and that is why it's important. And then I might kind of test myself, let's see what I can remember about them. Sometimes I might do it the other way actually. So I might decide that I'm going to read the definition and see what that feature was instead. So it's just a good way of starting to build kind of your independence in general. Now the next bit of your assessment, it focuses on getting ready for a piece of creative writing. So you've got write a description based on this picture, or write a story that begins or ends with the sentence, it all went quiet. Now if it ends, it should really have a full stop there. Now one of the things that you might want to be doing is, like, as you are planning, you're thinking about what you're going to plan. Now a summary of your narrative here is something like basic, like you might say a boy loses his dog, or thinking, I mean, that could be quite good in this one because, like, you could have a little boy that clearly is in some like lost world, things are destroyed, and they are looking for their dog, and you can maybe use a setting to help you with that idea. It might be about somebody that lives in this house here. And what they can see or what has happened. It's up to you really how you decide to create your story based on that picture. So your summary should be like a basic sentence that summarizes your plot. Now I always say that when you're writing creatively in this amount of time, it's really important to keep it really simple. So you might have one character, one setting, and your one major event. Okay, you've only got probably about 20 to 30 minutes to write for this. So you want to make sure that you're not like going on an epic adventure through 25,000 different continents. Not that we've got that many in the world, but just in case, because it's fantasy, so you might do. You might, thinking about your settings, I want you to start thinking maybe about words that you might want to decide to use in your piece, and this is where your memory can come into place and a bit of your revision. So for example, imagine that I wanted to describe something that smells nasty. So a nasty smell. Now, I can write a nasty smell in my assessment, I can, but it's not a very good way of describing something, and this is where my using the internet and using Google become actually fantastic, and I recommend that you do that. I don't know if that you can see a bit better by me taking the bright light off. So I might do something like this. So I might put the word smell, first of all, so smell. Let me see, smell. So I've got here smell, and then I've got words that describe the word smell as well. So I might look at synonyms. It won't let me open it. So you've got ascend. Now, if I want to say, let's see, am I right? Synonyms. Synonyms for horrible smell. Horrible smell. If that's what I want to describe. Oh, what smell? Horrible smell. Let me just so there you go. Malodor. Oh, I like that one. Malodorous. Malodorous. And I might do 2 or 3 that I like. Oh, rancid. Love that word. Rancid. That's a really good one to describe a horrible smell, like something that is decaying and is like it stings your nose really. I don't like the word stenchy. That's a weird one. Not that bothered about that one. I might use, let's see what else did they give me. I'll just go in and, I like the word offensive actually. Offensive smell. An offensive smell. Offensive. Okay, so I might have a few words and I've written those, and this is actually how you prepare, like memorizing different words in terms of what you might want to use when describing your piece. And I might do the same as well with sounds. Rather than just writing, maybe I'm going to put the word quiet. Okay, so I might do synonyms. Let's put synonyms for here. Quiet. Let me see. Synonyms for quiet. Let's see what it gives me. So I'm always looking to see maybe words that I could use. If you want to do it, the internet's not very fast. Let's try again. Synonyms, quiet. I think the internet's not very good today. So, so what you've got there is just a way that you can find. There you go. It's finally come up. Let me see. Quiet. Oh, still. I like that. Soundless. I like that word. Soundless. The soundless, whatever you want to describe. Mute. So all of a sudden, I'm starting to gather words. Now, this is actually what I would do for the rest of my planning. I start thinking about actually what I want to write. How am I going to write it? What perspective? Am I going to use the first person, third person? Try to write in the style of fantasy and dystopia. So what words might I want to add in my writing that creates this? Now remember, the picture is only, like it says, write a description based on the picture. You don't have to be specific with what's on the picture in there. Okay, then you might want to find some ambitious vocabulary. I tend to do this one all the time. Quite often we like to describe things as dark, but dark is a word, is quite a monosyllabic word. It's got its place, but you might want to think of other words to use. So I really like this one. Atramentus. It means like deep black, or I might describe a moonless sky. Moonless or starless sky to describe something as dark. So you've got different ways that you can use to kind of make your writing a lot better. Now also remember about structure as well. Once you've got your vocabulary, once you've got your similes and your ideas, your imagery, that's what you've got here. So similes or metaphors that you may want to use. Also think about actually what am I going to focus in each of my paragraphs. So you might want to write that at the top. So paragraph 1, I might focus on describing the setting. Paragraph 2, I might focus on describing my character, in particular like the physical appearance. Paragraph 3, I might do my character again, but I might focus actually on what they're thinking. So then I'm changing the focus of my story as I go along. Okay? I hope you find this helpful if you're struggling to plan and think of how to plan. Hopefully this video is giving you some ideas. Good luck!